I missed that one a bit. This is a small high bar filling machine. It'll do up to 17 ml per stroke. It's a perfect machine for doing lip balm. So we're doing a lip balm demonstration today with it. Here is the foot pedal, which will go on the floor, and back here is the air filter regulator and lubricator set up. And it's attached, this black hose is attached back to the small compressor. So that compressor is plenty adequate to run this machine. So the pump is self-priming. That's the output stroke, and when you let go of the pedal, you can see the product is coming up the hose here. Then out, in, out, in. We're at 182 degrees right now, Fahrenheit. So this is just a nice way to warm up the machine before you put hot wax through it, so it doesn't we can compare it this way. 9.34, 9.36, 9.35, 9.35, 9.35. So to 1/100th of a gram, it has very good accuracy. Coming out, there's a micrometer here at the back of the machine, and with the foot pedal pushed down, you can tighten or loosen the micrometer to adjust the amount of product coming out. So I'm going to bring it down, and the micrometer is marked on the shaft from 1 to 10, plus there's markings from 0 to 25 along it, so you can go 6.8. And if that's the measurement you always use, you'll know that that's accurate. Here it's probably for 4.5, or probably at about somewhere in here. Well, let's try it out. .4, 8.9. So the first one may always be just slightly off. So exactly 4.45 every time. So that should be pretty close. If anything, we want to be, that's probably too much, because this is 4.5 ml and we're dealing with wax here, so we want to take it down to about 4. So I've turned it down slightly. So we can take one of our little containers here and try it out. Let's take off one first. So it's slightly under, which is good. We'll keep it slightly under and then we can raise it once we start moving. This is done just by taking the hose out of the oil. That will drain it, and then you can just feed it out. So most of the oil is now out of the system. Now we're going to keep that oil and keep it warm, because at the end we'll flush it again. So now this is a wax, and this will clog up the machine if so until the wax starts coming through, I'm still dumping this other oil back into our vegetable oil container. But that's no big deal, because the vegetable oil can take a certain amount of wax without congealing, and you can always change that oil anytime. It's fairly cheap. You can see in the hose itself now the wax is starting to solidify. There, it's coming out solid now. So that's a pretty good temperature for the machine. Speed in which the product comes in or out of the machine, that's done at the back of the machine here. You just tighten or loosen these two, and that adjusts the speed for the output and input of product. See, now it's going out much faster. So if you can handle that piece, that's fine, but I'm going to turn it down a little bit because we're filling very small lip balms here, so we don't want it to be splashing out. So let's check our level now, see if we're getting a consistent output. So you can see every single one of them is filled to the top. $2 fill, then filling these will be no problem. 2.56 right on the nose there. After 10 strokes, we should get pretty close to 25.6. So there you go. After 10 strokes, you can see the 2.55 is how much each one of those tubes is holding. Not too much, because that means we're leaving some in the machine that's gonna cool faster. And then at this point, I open up the micrometer a bit just to get the flow going a bit better, faster, and higher. It's quite a bit. This is a non-beeswax product, so that's fairly common. And these ones were poured at a higher temperature. And they're still settling, but they look like they're gonna settle a little bit better, but they're also only 2.5 ml.